Football 101, and I am your host, The Beetle. And this is show number 14, and I'm calling this right now, show number 14, Jalen Hurts, Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah! That's right, Jalen Hurts, quarterback for Oklahoma, Heisman Trophy winner. Call it. That's right. I am calling it right now. This is show number 14, and I'm all in on Jalen Hurts transfer from the University of Alabama in his first game with the Oklahoma Sooners. I've seen enough. I'm calling it. Jalen Hurts, Heisman Trophy winner this year. There you go. This is Football 101. If you want to just shout out to Football 101, and we established this tradition for quite some time, and this show is all about college football. And what a great first weekend in college football, by the way. Had a great time the entire first week. And one of the biggest games came on this past weekend was Oklahoma Sooners against the University of Houston, which is, matter of fact, I used to live in Houston, Texas back in the day, from 1988 to 1990. Loved Houston, loved working for the University of Houston, and but Jalen Hurts looked exceptional in his first game as a transfer for the Oklahoma Sooners. And this game has so many storylines. Yet Jalen Hurts surprised everybody. And I'm going to give you a little bit of backdrop in just a little bit. So this is Football 101. We want to thank all our listeners out there, all the NFL, college, and high school listeners out there. We're going to cover all the bases this year. Yes, that's right. The NFL, college, and high school. Like I said in show number 1, we're covering it all because we just love football. We're back. The return of Football 101. I'm 61 years of age. I'm back. That's right, I'm back. It's about time. And this show is all about college football and really Jalen Hurts and what I saw the first weekend. And I just felt like it's time to give some props to the Oklahoma Sooners and Jalen Hurts. If you have any comments or questions, please do not hesitate to email me at ejb8892@gmail.com. That's right, ejb8892@gmail.com. Wow, we just throwing out the football shows right, left, right now because there's so much news out there. And let me just say, I want to thank all our platforms, Podbean, for providing us the platform to share our podcast show. Podbean is doing an outstanding job getting us out there in so many different ways. And please give a shout out. Please give a like. Download our podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast on Podbean. Podbean does a great job. Please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, to Spotify, as well as YouTube. YouTube doing a great job as well. So we're getting out there as many platforms. There's so many sports shows, but we found our niche because this is real football talk from a real football player. Hello, yes, I played it back in the day and brought it the best way I could. Being a little guy, but real, bringing the intensity, just the love of the game, and getting a chance to showcase my skills at a certain level. And truly enjoy it, and enjoy all the nuances of football, even after so many years of not playing. It's the beginning of the season across the board, and college football brings its own aura. And by the way, I last week a quick shout out to NC State. I attended the NC State game their first weekend in Raleigh at Carter Finley Stadium. Just loved it. Just loved it with my son. Just loved it. The NC State fans, Wolfpack fans, are great. They're phenomenal. They're very supportive. Got a season ticket pass and just really love the ACC environment and what they brought to the table. And the team is a young team. I don't know how they're going to. Well, I do know how they're going to do. My prediction is how they. I think they're going to play better than advertised. But they're a young team. And they have a lot of growth to do, growing to do. But I was very pleased with my first big time college game in such a long time. So that was a part of the first weekend in college football, experiencing the NC State Wolfpack game, and they won convincingly, 34-6 against ECU. So I can't wait to go to their big time games as the really big time games of Syracuse, Clemson, Louisville, and NC, North Carolina Tar Heels. So again, a quick shout out to those teams. But let me just get back to what I saw with Jalen Hurts, and I'm calling it right now. Heisman Trophy winner. Let me just say, Jalen Hurts is such a professional athlete already. Such a professional athlete. I mean, that is in itself should give a lot of respect to just being a professional athlete at the college level. And he found himself in a precarious situation in Alabama, at the University of Alabama. He was the starter, I think, for the first 2 years. Yeah, first 2 years. And then Alabama and Nick Saban recruited a young kid, Tua Tagovailoa, and he came practically out of nowhere, and he's a superstar athlete as well, and basically beat Jalen Hurts out of his position, quarterback, and Jalen took it like a professional, not like a sore loser, but was very supportive, stood along the sideline as Tua took over his team, was very diplomatic last year throughout the entire season. I have to give it to Jalen for being very diplomatic. Think about it. You are a superstar player at the biggest program in the SEC and in the college world, University of Alabama. And I'm not mistaken that I believe he had already won a championship before. Am I mistaken? I don't know. I believe so. And but to be in a situation where, matter of fact, a couple of years ago, I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, I'm regressing a little bit, thinking about another championship game a couple of years ago when the Ohio State University won the championship. But anyway, I digress on that. Sorry about that. That happens for Football 101. So many memories. But Jalen had to sit the bench basically last year. And very diplomatic. And they figure, is he going to sit the bench this year? No. Fortunately, with the transfer rule and the portal system that college football has provided, a lot of the named players can transfer out within a year and start potentially at another university. Well, what I read in the offseason, Jalen did just that and left Alabama went to Oklahoma and worked himself into the starting position. Worked himself into the starting position. And with the phenomenal and a chip on their shoulder, Oklahoma Sooners, because they've come short on a lot of big time games. Lincoln Riley accepted him with open arms and said, compete. Well, it's obvious. Excuse me. He competed and won the job. And really won the job in convincing his new set of players, new set of comrades, new set of compadres in Oklahoma that he is a leader. And you could just see how he led that team against University of Houston, or just started to fit in his role, really fit into his role as the quarterback for Oklahoma Sooners. Lincoln Riley, let me just say this. Head coach Lincoln Riley for Oklahoma, phenomenal. He's just a phenomenal coach. Last year they had Murray. The year before they had oh my gosh. I'm going to get it. Ease up, folks. I know it takes me a little bit longer. Baker Mayfield, the year before that, they had Baker Mayfield. So it's a quarterback haven. And now Lincoln Riley is very fortunate to have Jalen Hurts. And that is just a winning combination. And let me just say, guess who was at the game? Guess who was at that game on the sideline? Murray. Last year's Heisman Trophy winner. First year pick in the NFL. Now at quarterback, starting quarterback for Arizona Cardinals. Well, guess, he was there. And you should have seen his expression when Jalen Hurts was running, throwing, making touchdowns. Looked so fluid. Making great decisions. And yes, initially he was a little shaky, but he just started off phenomenal. Throughout the game, he was getting a little shaky, but he started off very well. And University of Houston came back, by the way. They made it a game. They did not falter. They did not lay it down. U of H. I love U of H. They got so much talent coming from the AAC. And they got big time coach. And so they're going to be bringing, they're a top level team. Lots of talent. Much better coaching now. Look out for U of H. But Jalen Hurts took every situation and made it his own. He kept coming back again and again. Even when they could have really slacked off, he controlled. You could just see him in the pocket. Very comfortable in the pocket. Looking at his reads. But then really deciding, okay, I'm going to run. He ran a lot of different situations, but he ran in a fluid way. And he didn't run because of that was the first option. He waited to run. And you could just see that he just had a command of the offense. And you could just say he's trying to figure out the offense, but he was actually improvising a lot. Just imagine later in the season when he really has a command of the Lincoln Riley offense. And the rest of the players step up. Because it looked like he was just so comfortable and reading the defenses so well. I mean, seriously, I just thought he looked like a veteran quarterback. He looked like a starting quarterback in the NFL. I kid you not. He looked like a starting quarterback in the NFL. He looked that relaxed. And yes, he fumbled the ball. And yes, he made mistakes. But he just looked so relaxed. And he didn't. Here's another commentary I heard from a couple of his teammates. They said he's not as stiff In Alabama, it was so structured. Too structured. Very structured. Like 1, 2, 3. Get rid of the ball. 1, 2, 3. Run the ball. 1, 2, 3. Look at your reads. That's it. With Lincoln Riley's offense, you can see that he has more decision-making power. You can see that he's much more relaxed. In the first game, he just looked so relaxed. So at ease. And they also, during the game, I'm really glad that, what was it, ABC, ESPN, the commentator, the sports, she was phenomenal. She, the sideline reporter, actually went in the stands and interviewed Jalen Hurts' dad. And you could just sense the pride that his dad had, and what how much Jalen had to go through in the transfer and go to Oklahoma, which, you know, Jalen already knows a lot of the players in Houston because he's already played against them. And so in high school. And so it was like a homecoming a little bit. And yet Jalen took it in stride. The parents so proud of his maturity. And you can see it just comes from his parents. And how he is, like I said, handled the situation the best way you can. Transferring from one of the biggest programs in college football, University of Alabama, and saying, I'm going to take my skills elsewhere and showcase my skills elsewhere. And that's what he's going to do. And that's what he did in the first game, but that's what he's going to do the entire year. NFL scouts going to have so much great tape on him, a much better tape on him than ever before. And I'm just getting out front saying, wow, he is Mr. MVP. He is not Mr. MVP, well, MVP of the team, but Mr. Heisman Trophy. I'm getting out front and saying, Heisman Trophy. Right now. And I can't wait for him to go against the big name talent. Because that's what he wants to do. That's what Jalen Hurts wants. He wants to go against. He can't wait to go against the teams in the Big 12. He can't wait to go against Texas, TCU, Iowa State, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Kansas State, West Virginia, and Kansas. He can't wait. The Big 12. That's a great conference, by the way. It's a good conference. Great conference. I say it's a great conference. Because Texas, as they say, Texas is back. I used to live in Texas. Houston, Texas, that is. As I said earlier. Again, that's great football there. And I think the entire conference has come back. And they play some serious ball. They're committed. They give, oh man, do they give their heart and soul to football in Texas and Oklahoma. So this is real football there. In Big 12 Conference, watch in the bowl games. They're going to be there and watch for Oklahoma to be in the top teams for the college football championship. Again, I don't know if they're going to actually be there, but I just think that Jalen Hurts will win the Heisman Trophy. Again, it's going to be very competitive in the Big 12. It's going to be a good learning experience for Jalen Hurts because he's out of the SEC. He's going to see a lot of new football. And let me just look at this. Look at the schedule. They just completed Houston, beat Houston. They play South Dakota next. Then they go to UCLA. They'll have Texas Tech, Kansas, and then Texas, University of Texas, October 12th. West Virginia, Kansas State, Iowa State, Baylor, TCU, and Oklahoma State. Finish with Oklahoma State. So I see the big test for them is Texas and Oklahoma State, the last game. if they run the table, man, they're going to be right there. And Lincoln Riley is an excellent coach. And he received his opportunity for when he was at ECU, by the way. He was offensive coordinator at ECU under Coach Ruff. So a little shout out to Coach Ruff, Lincoln Riley, and ECU. Because Lincoln Riley, man, he's ready for the NFL. We all know he's ready for the NFL as head coach. He's a young guy. Still a young guy. His offensive philosophy, man. What can you say? Jalen Hurts will bring it. Jalen Hurts. Football 101 is giving props to Jalen Hurts as Heisman Trophy winner. I'm calling it. September 6th. Jalen Hurts, Heisman Trophy winner. And also, just a renowned professional student college athlete. Wow, he's handled this situation beyond anyone's imagination. And I even saw a little clip of him working in the workout room in Oklahoma doing a power lift. The man, he's putting on more power, more strength, and he's showing to his teammates he's willing to give it up. That's what I really like. As a former football player, and you, as a teammate, you want to see your leader give it up. And what I saw that first game, he was giving it up. So, again, very impressed of the professionalism, very impressed with the skill level, very impressed with who Jalen Hurts, and I'm learning more about him. And I'll probably have another show about Jalen Hurts in the year. Probably will. And so, I want to recognize those student athletes who are really giving it on the field and off the field. And that's what you do really in college football. What you're doing on the field and off the field and how you carry yourself is so important, particularly at the college level, because all of these athletes, superstar, average players, walk-ons, hey, I know how it is being a walk-on, and scout team players, hey, you put it out there. I used to put it out there. Love the game, love the college, love the university, give it all the time. But you got to recognize those athletes who are representing their families, their institutions, and they know, and you can see it in Jalen Hurts, he's just preparing for the next level. A vast majority of college football players, athletes, are not going to the next level. And so you know that Jalen is putting his heart and soul into this time, and hopefully it will work out for him. And I just wish him the best. Again, I just like to recognize those student athletes who put it out there more than you can imagine. So again, this is Football 101, giving a big shout out to Jalen Hurts as Heisman Trophy winner 2019. If you want to email me, ejb8892@gmail.com. If you want to disagree with me, send me an email. If you don't think he's going to win, send me an email. It's okay. I like it. So, again, this is Football 101, and we are still bringing it strong. And this was show number 14, and it's called Jalen Hurts, Heisman Trophy winner. This is Football 101. See you, everybody.